we're down here. We made the drive, about 3-hour drive, 2.5 with speed, down to Sonoita, Arizona. Just about, what would you guys say, about 30 miles outside of Tucson, maybe 40 miles?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, a little bit south and to the east. I
We're
guess
about 30 miles north of the border as well. So kind of right, 30 miles, I think, both ways.
You split the difference between Tucson and the border. It's Copper Brothel Brewery. I'm here with TJ, one of the owners, and Garrett, another owner. And so we were talking before this. You guys don't do the brewing here, or someone else does?
Yeah, so the brewing's all done by my sister and my dad, actually. I help back here a little bit, but I usually do cellar side for the most part. But yeah.
Okay. And then how long has Copper Brothel been around? Because we were doing a little a brew day with some guys, and we were talking to the guys from the Craft Brewers Guild, Rob and Andrew, about a story we have coming up for Phoenix Magazine about breweries that are like one-town breweries, kind of beer deserts, you kind of holding down the line. So tell me a little bit about the story of Copper Brothel, how it became to be, and kind of where you think it's going.
So, I mean, we've been open for 5 years now. We just celebrated our 5th anniversary in March. Well, technically March. Our grand opening was in June, but so my parents were down here for about 10 years ago, and just being in this area, they started living down here and saw the tourist area, and kind of noticed that a wine town could use a brewery. And we're all from Colorado, so breweries have been pretty big in Colorado for quite a long time, since the early 90s and stuff like that. And so just kind of seemed like a good idea to bring good beer to a wine town, pretty much.
Sure. And then you were saying you came from Colorado
as well, yeah. And
this kind of area where we're at in Sonoita reminded you of what do they call that? The grasslands up in Colorado,
all the grass, and it's fun. It's beautiful.
Yeah, Colorado's also kind of high desert, and so Sonoita is also that high desert.
What is the elevation?
So we're just under 5,000 feet.
Just shy of 5,000.
Okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
49 and some change, I think. So.
So it's a little bit cooler, maybe, what would you say, 10 to 15 degree difference from Phoenix or Tucson?
From Phoenix, yeah, probably at least 10 degrees. Tucson, usually about 5, maybe a little more sometimes. 100 degree days are a lot more rare than it is a little bit further up north.
Which makes this kind of a destination to come for a lot of people, right?
Cool up here. Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about that. What kind of destination or travel presence do you guys experience here coming through this area?
Oh, we see it all. I mean, the vineyards have been here since the 70s, and I think they're up to 26 vineyards out there, I think. So, you get a lot of people that are coming up for that. But I think definitely through COVID, there was a lot of people who were born and raised in Tucson who had never even been out this way, didn't even know this area existed. So, a lot of our customers we see are coming from, Tucson, Green Valley, Sierra Vista. And then, we have our locals that live here all year round, and, we see them too. So... But it's kind of fun. It's such a great place to come hang out. I think definitely after COVID, a lot of people were leaving the city, and we're like, whoa, like, what is this little oasis up here? It was green and it was barely 100 when they were leaving 110. So it was,
not much of an explored area yet in Arizona, unless you're into wine, right? So you guys have been holding down the fort here for beer as a brewery, a one-town brewery. What does that mean when I say that? Like, people who might be listening to this in Phoenix, they're used to, maybe 100 in that area. But in Sonoita, it's just one kind of holding the line in a beer desert. Do you guys think of yourselves that way?
I mean, not so much. I mean, we just kind of seen it as like, a tourist area that could use, beer. It was never to, be the only one or anything like that. And in fact, I think there's
a new one going in.
New one soon. Going down the road here soon too. So I mean,
what do you guys know about that?
Not a whole lot, honestly. I think
they finally broke ground. I think their structure's finally up and all that. I'm not too sure. The name is Cienega Brewery or something.
Oh yeah, Cienega,
yeah, which is super cool. That's the fun part about the craft beer scene, is like we're all in it just to make great beer and serve it, right?
Sure.
You know, and so it's nice. It's nice to have some more friends join this area, because this area is beautiful. You know, I mean, it's kind of nice to be all on the same team, if you will.
Yeah, so that could make it more of a destination if you start adding things like that, right?
Absolutely. You know, rising tide rises all ships. So, you know, the more people we get down here to, you know, come see us and, you know, be able to, you know, bounce around from place to place. I mean, it's not a zero-sum game, you know, so it kind of helps all of us, you know, feel that, you know, the wineries help us, we help the wineries, you know, and so it's be good to see more beer down here as well.
Is there any kind of similarity to what you guys do for beer, what all the wine growers down here are doing for wine, in that you guys can work together on, I don't know, brewery collaborations? Does that ever happen?
I mean, yeah, I mean, we definitely kind of came together, you know, during COVID and stuff like that to try to see what we can do. We do a lot of charity events together as well, you know, just to, you know, help out each other's charities and all that kind of stuff. So we always, you know, like to kind of work together as much as we can. It's a little bit of a different style, I would say. I'm not sure exactly how to explain it, but either way, you know, we, you know, help each other out with everything we can.
So we talked to several brewers who might have like wine background in their background too, like maybe they started there, and you know, they learn a lot from that and they carry it over to the brewing process. I'm curious if you guys have like the people who brew here, do they have that sort of thing, like living in this area or being around this area? Are you experienced in that at all too?
No, not really. I mean, the Sammy's all self-taught and started out, you know, with beer, you know, a while ago when she was in college and stuff like that. So she started out right off on beer, and
we're great samplers, and we can help with taste any chance we can and do. Like, we do a great job at that. That's our role.
That's our
that, you know, that's right? Been my primary role for a long time too. I appreciate that. So let's talk about some of Sammy's beers. What do you guys, is there a flagship here at Copper Brothel? Is there a bestseller?
Yeah, I think we have a few solid ones that really identify who we are. And you know what's fun about Sam is she just likes to make great beer. Like, she just likes to have fun with it. She wants to make beers that people enjoy drinking, and so that really helps out with us even just being able to sell the product, you know, because they're smooth, easy drinking beers, and she likes to have fun with it, and you could tell it comes out in her work. So
so we have 6 flagship beers pretty much. I mean, we have 6 that stay on pretty much all the time. We almost have like kind of an old school thought process as far as our business plan and what beer we release, you know, where we, you know, have, you know, a couple solid staples that we stick with that are pretty easy drinking. And then our seasonals is where we kind of, you know, try something new. So, you know, always have like an American wheat, a blonde, a pale, a red.
We have a Mexican ale that's super delicious that we just made into a michelada beer. So now we have a brewed michelada beer that's super delicious.
Yeah. So we're not a place that you're going to find, you know, 5 to 7 IPAs on at a time. It's just not who we are. We'll generally have, you know, 1 to 3, but you know, we like to kind of make beer for the masses as well. So it's not just, you know, singling out just those hop heads and everything. We try to make it you know, so that anyone can enjoy.
Yeah, wide variety is always important, especially for those traveling people that might be stopping by on their way to the lake or having a weekend down here in wine country. Because sometimes those palates are a little bit different than the consummate beer drinker that is always looking for maybe something with like, what's the next highest IBU I can try, right?
Exactly. And I mean, that was kind of our goal too with opening in a small town. You know, we need our locals to stay open during the week, and you know, a lot of the locals might not be, you know, avid beer drinkers. So, you know, you still have to have something that's, you know, well balanced and easy drinking for them.
And that's been fun, I think, kind of like getting them. Because I mean, I remember the very first time, actually, Garrett introduced me to craft beer years ago. And like that first taste of craft beer, you're like, man, this is amazing, right? Like, it kind of gets you going. So being able to kind of introduce that to people in our community has been super great. I mean, those that know it, absolutely, they understand the craft beer scene. Those that were not used to that type of beer are loving it, and it's cool to see them try different stuff that we push out that is kind of off the wall. So
Sure.
yeah.
And then in Sonoita, for people who might not know, it's about what, 1,000 people or so, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean there's kind of a couple different communities that are all together. So it's Elgin, Sonoita, and Patagonia are all kind of grouped together, but
not very many people.
not a whole lot of people.
Okay, yeah, maybe boost that number up a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the
I guess like for Sonoita, Elgin,
Yeah.
probably about 1,000, and then you include Patagonia, so which is, oh god, I'm not too sure.
No.
But
so.
yeah, either way,
Yeah, sure. So if you're watching the video here on YouTube, you see the brewery actually behind me. What are you guys working with?
So we got a 7-barrel specific mechanical system. We got 4 fermenters and 6 brights and serving vessels. We kind of work on all that, and then we also keg and everything. But we mostly sell all of our beer in house. We don't really distribute much. Just here and there, but mostly everything that we make here we sell in house.
Sure. Is there a spot that you might recommend where you might always find Copper Brothel, but besides here?
Well, yeah, I mean, we got a good friend up in Vale, Rita Ranch area, our Genziano's Italian restaurant. They always have
3 of our beers.
Yeah, 2 to 3 of our beers on all the time.
Right on.
So they're the only ones that are consistently have it. Every once in a while we'll push out to like Tucson Hop Shop every once in a while, and
Bone Dry
and Sierra Vista, kind of the 2
Keg stuff that you can find on tap. Any kind of like bottles or cans or.
As of right now, we're not doing any canning or bottling. We got a crowler in house that we send beer out the door, but other than that, it's just kegs.
Yeah, so you can get beer to go here. Let's talk a little bit about more of the building, because it's an impressive walk up. The brewery has a really fantastic kind of outside location, and then indoors when you walk in, this warm, inviting, almost like a Colorado kind of ranch. Great. Describe a little bit better than me in here what you guys were going for with the actual
I
the
think you're
brew
on the
pub
right
part
track
of it.
to really, that was our kind of whole goal, to kind of bring that industrial ranch style kind of building. Yeah, because we built from the ground up. Like when we purchased the land, it was just dirt. Like that's all we had to work with, and a few trees.
Yeah,
This wasn't an existing building.
It was
Then.
not.
Okay.
Yeah.
no.
Building.
So we're on 5,000 square feet, and then I think it's a little over 2 acres now, I want to say.
Yeah.
And we have a outdoor beer garden and real grass, which is hard to come by sometimes. We just got our outdoor stage up, and we have a mezzanine outside, rooftop patio, all kinds of fun stuff. So
you guys throw some parties here?
we do.
Yeah,
We just threw our annual monsoon party that we throw the weekend of after the 4th of July is always kind of our biggest party that we throw of the year. And we brought in the monsoons. We got rained on real hard, but
real hard
that day or that night.
yeah, that night
it worked out kind of well. I mean, we did have an artist performing on the small. We have 2 stages out there. On the smaller one, she was out there performing and just got dumped on. So we had to pull all of her stuff. And then an hour before the big band went on, the sun kind of came out. The band was able to start 15 minutes later than they had planned, and it was nice and cool, and people danced the night away. So
Right on.
it was a fun time. Yeah.
Right on. What about the name then, Copper Brothel? Where does that come from?
So it actually comes from an old Western singer, Marty Robbins. He has a song called El Paso. And in the song, it talks about Rose's Cantina, and he meets a girl that he falls in love with. So it's kind of loosely based on that. That's where we kind of started with, is my dad's favorite song. And so we kind of went on that, and we just kind of, we're a woman owned and woman brewed establishment. So, we kind of wanted to we kind of spitballed on that a little bit, and kind of thought of how brothels were the cornerstone of mining towns out here. So obviously, Arizona is a huge copper, the copper state, and a big mining community. And so brothels were always one of the first businesses that popped up in mining towns. They were kind of the cornerstone of the town, and they were, women owned and everything like that. So it's kind of our homage to the women, and how their role played in the Wild West. And so we just kind of built our branding off of that. And, so all of our beers are named after women.
Yeah, I was gonna say I noticed that when I walked in, you kind of lean into that with like the merchandise. So yeah, so the names are also on that.
Yeah. So so we have Felina's our oatmeal stout. We got Pearl is our American wheat, Maggie May, Roxy. So all of our beers.
Kolsch, yeah.
So everything is built right off of that. So
Right on.
yeah.
And then we mentioned it's a brew pub here, so you can come here and eat lunch, dinner. What are some of the better items here that you guys have, or like a signature item?
Oh, so we're predominantly from Scratch Kitchen, so we have fun back there. We do delicious. Like we batter everything to order. So our fish and chips is battered to order. So the cod is probably one of my favorite things. We make our style kind of like a pork green chili that we throw on everything, smother everything with, which is a Colorado kind of dish that we kind of brought down here. And that's something that anything that has that on there is going to be so delicious. Our mac and cheese is one of my favorites. And our pulled pork, we have a huge 14-foot smoker that we created out of a propane tank in the back. Actually, our neighbors did. And so I think our pulled pork, anytime we do any of our smoked meats, are fan favorite, my favorite. So
it's scratch food, it's craft beer, but not an actual brothel when you come down here, right? Do you ever get anyone that stops by and
family establishment?
no one comes by and is confused about that, right?
There some are.
Oh, okay.
They're wondering if there's an upstairs somewhere, but no, it is. We're not a real brothel. Sorry to disappoint.
Well, that's good. That's probably very illegal.
There's so many puns we could do right now, but I think we'll hold off for the podcast.
No, I have our boss at the magazine, our publisher Brett. He's very fascinated by the history of brothels in Arizona and Phoenix. There's still remnants of that in some of the older buildings, like in downtown by the stadiums, and so he's more, I guess, not. The history, he's intrigued and fascinated by the history, and in kind of the same way where like he's from the South, that like if we were to go there and see kind of like plantations are still used for different things, along those sorts of lines. So there's a really wild history of that, like you were mentioning. So it's kind of unique that you guys kind of lean in to that as your style, as your brand. But I mean, this is I didn't expect a place like this coming out here. You drive so far out and you seem like you're in the middle of nowhere, and then all of a sudden you came up on this. So this is really well done. You guys should be very proud of this
Thank
place.
you. We are. Yeah. I mean, we get that a lot. It's we did everything we can to make a true destination. You want to make it somewhere where someone wants to come and hang out for a while. If you are gonna commit to a 3-hour drive, we want to make it worth your while, with not only our building and our amenities, but also our food and our beer. We take great pride in that. So
it's always a working process too. That's the other part. It's fun to evolve and keep changing and keep doing stuff that the customers like. That's what's fun about this industry. We just get to have fun.
You guys dive into kind of like the new styles or hip styles that might come out and that sort of thing.
We like to enjoy them for sure. Whether or not that we're actually gonna put something out, a cold IPA or something like that. We may or may not. And we like I said, we like to have fun with our seasonals and stuff like that. But we're not always gonna like try to follow trends or be on the forefront of that kind of stuff. But I like to drink them, that's for sure.
Right on. Well, TJ and Garrett, thank you so much for letting me come by and stop by. I'm actually going to grab a beer and some lunch while I'm here and check it out. And so make sure to look for the write-up on our feature coming up in the September-October issue. It's all about beer and travel. Is there anything you guys would want to say to the listeners or maybe people who might read the magazine, why you should come down here and travel, like say when the magazine comes out September, October, kind of getting into that fall travel season?
Well, for me, I think, take a break from reality and come play with us. Like, we have a beautiful backyard. So, we need a break from the chaos of day-to-day life. So, and what better place than this island oasis where we get to, enjoy awesome sunsets. We're between two cool mountain ranges. We're in between two lakes. We have the vineyards, which are always just great to kick back and relax. So, we need to get away. Come down and play with us.
I'm glad you said the mountains, man. They seem like they're right on top of you when you come down here. It's really amazing.
Yeah. It's cool.
I mean, in that time of year, I mean, it's nice and cool. You start, the temperature starts breaking a little bit more, and you start getting a lot of really fun colors out here too, as far as scenery and everything like that. So it's an awesome time for this area.
We have 3 fire pits. We get the fire pits going. Have people kick back. It's great.
The party continues outside, right?
All year long. Yeah, there's always the scenery is constantly changing up here. So we even get snow. One year we had 13 inches of snow. Right? It didn't last very long. It only lasted a couple of days and it was gone. But we just get it all.
So it'll snow here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, we usually get 1 to 3 different days of snow, and when it does, it means it. I mean, before I lived down here and my parents were down here, we'd always come down for Christmas from Colorado. I came from Colorado where it was I think 75 degrees, and came here and there was a foot of snow on the ground. So it was kind of
so you kind of get all the crazy.
A little crazy.
My Colorado experience has always been the reverse of that. You might leave here on a day in September and there's snow
over there. Yeah.
Generally it is the other way around, but it was that one Christmas definitely stood out, where I went from dry Colorado to a foot of snow in Arizona. It was incredible. So.
Right on. Well, TJ, Garrett, thank you guys.
No, thank you so much for doing this. We appreciate it.